Hi guys, so recently I promised myself that I'd get into YouTube more, and obviously I tried it before in the past, but I'm coming to do it again. I'm coming for whatever round this is, round 4, round 5, whatevs. I'm happy that, failing is just falling forward. It doesn't mean that you stop and you give up, it just means that you learn. And I feel like I've been learning a lot through my recent workshops around how I want to show up and what that means for me. So I thought, what better time to get started than now, as I'm getting ready to go to work. So yeah, and there's something so interesting I wanted to touch on today, which was about as girls, we like to get delulu about things. We like to daydream, because that's part of manifesting, right? That's how we call things in. That's how we learn if we want something and we feel into it. And for myself, just like a lot of women, men can be part of this, delulu. A lot of us know that we're here for a divine love, right? We know we're here for a love bigger than ourselves, a love that changes worlds, a love that course corrects humanity and makes humanity a better place simply because this love exists, right? And I know I've got one of these loves, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you've got one of these loves too. That's why you're drawn to me. And also, it's okay if you don't. I don't expect us to resonate on absolutely everything. That would just be boring, as one of my friends says. If we liked everything the same with each other, that'd be so boring. Also, I'm aware that my porridge is cooking right now, so I'm just going to pause this for a second. Okay, perfect. I'm back. I stopped the porridge. Yeah. So yeah, so love is one of those things, and for me, I've had a history of daydreaming men into being, but for me, I'm a very visual person. So I've needed a visual representation of who this love could be. And it's nice when I get ideas of who the man could be when I know the man, because that makes the reality seem very visual, very down to earth and real, and not just an imagination or a projection, but a real life possibility, because I know the person. So it's kind of I'm using this person as a mirror of what could potentially be possible. And it's never really about this guy. Sure, it'd be great if this person was the ideal man that I'd envision for myself, whilst also being okay with if it's not him. Because if I'm using a guy as my ideal man, but I don't actually even know this person, I don't really know them, I haven't got to know them, then I can't possibly project on what he's going to be in real life, because I've got the idea of my potential man, what my dream man is, and what I know him to be. I feel it in every ounce of my bones. I really know what the guy's going to be in every way, and I can project that image onto him. But if he's not actually like that, then I can't force him to be that to fit my ideal. So then whilst I'm in my delulu of daydreaming about potential realities with this man, I'm also being very grounded of yes, allowing myself to dream and fantasize, but then also being okay with if it doesn't turn out to be this guy. And then also not settling for this guy if then I do get to know him and he doesn't turn out to be what I expected him to be. Because I'm not then adjusting what I want to suit this guy, because it was never about this particular guy. It was about my feeling of what I know that I want and whether he matches up to that or not, and just being thankful that he was my potential suitor that could potentially match my description, because having a person that I actually know in person or I've seen in person gives me a physical, I can touch it, I can taste it, I can feel it version of this man must exist because he looks like he could potentially be him. So then it makes it feel, I say, more realistic and more actually achievable, which can I find is great for giving you a sense of hope, or for giving me a sense of hope. If I've, you know, never seen that type of man before, that type of relationship. So it's nice to have these anchors of like grounding it down into physical reality. So then when I do get to know this guy, if I like him or not, like if I don't like him, then I'm thankful that he's been like my North Star up until this point, and then I let him go with grace and ease, because I'm aware with myself from the beginning that it was never about this guy to begin with. It was about me and my internal process, and having like a physical, tangible North Star to hold on to, some way to fantasize about like my reality with them, to bring me more clarity, and for me to enjoy the process, you know, because it's fun to manifest, it's fun to dream, it's fun to want and to long, and it's fun to feel, you know. So if this guy's gave me like, well, not gave me, but, you know, activated the feelings within me of like what this dream reality would be like, then I'm thankful for that, you know, because for the most part, like the longing, the wanting, the crafting, the creating is much more of our life than the actual receiving of the thing. You know, you can receive the thing in 10 seconds, but you could have been dreaming about this thing for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years. Like, that's such a long time that is invested into the creating of this thing, that like we want to enjoy the process. It wants to be delicious, it wants to be fun. And I love feeling, I love the wanting, I love the desiring, I love the anticipation, the excitement, the dreaming. It's just so fun and delicious. So yeah, that feels gorgeous. And if you're drawn to this video, I would suspect that you're also a feeler. You also like to just like feel emotions and feel your way through life. Like, we're here to live, you know, and for me, living is feeling, it's enjoying the different emotions and like the beauty of the variance that life has to offer. You know, the highs and the lows. Like, I was crying the other day and just thinking about like how beautiful it is to be able to feel so deeply, you know. And like growing up, I was like shamed for being so sensitive, being so deep, when actually like my sensitivity is one of my superpowers. It's one of like my favorite things about myself. It gives my life so much more color, and it gives like the garden of my life so many more flowers, different kinds of flowers. Makes it so colourful and beautiful and divine and tasty and like nutritious and like nutrient rich soil, which is delish. So yeah, here I am back on YouTube, just coming here to be myself and just to share my voice, trusting that this video will find everybody is meant to find. I am a little bit run down right now. I was going to wait until I was like physically better before I started, but I was like, nah, there's no time like the present. And one of my friends the other day was saying how like it's just about showing up right now and creating that like open channel for spirit to come through, and it's less about like what I'm saying and what I'm doing. So I'm like, yeah, I can do that because, you know, maybe like 10 people will watch this video. So I ain't bothered about that. It's just about me creating that conscious commitment, that consistency, that channel for spirit to come through, for the wisdom to come through, the inspiration, and just doing what I love and making it easy and graceful and simple and fun for me. So yeah. Ooh, I was going to say something delicious about health. Yeah, oh, and yeah, I felt myself becoming physically unwell. So I knew that I'd been putting like rubbish foods in my body, to be honest, for quite a while. And I felt like my health, like little signs of like, I'm about to get a cold come on for like the past like, maybe like 5 days. And I was kind of okay with it. Not like fully self-destructive, but I was like, a part of me wanted to become ill. It wanted, like, I wanted that, like, physical clearing, that physical, like, it made sense. It made sense as the next step for me to be ill and to clear out, physical densities as I enter this next chapter. Been doing a lot of inner work, deep purging of, like, mother wounds, of shame, of unworthiness that have come from the mother wound. And at, like, my women's circles recently, like, noticing, like, for other women as well, their mother wounds have been coming up of deep shame. Like, a lot of shame has been coming up, and, like, feeling of unworthiness. And of course there was only women at these spaces, but then I went for a walk with one of, like, my male friends the other day, and he said the exact same thing. Like, for him, unworthiness wounds have been coming up, and, like, he wants to enter in, like, a physical partnership, and, like, he's got loads of, like, I feel like I shouldn't be speaking about other people's process, but I'm going to do this very, like, due diligently. But, like, he's been having things come up with his daughter. It adds to the context, this is why I'm talking about it. I don't usually, like, talk about other people's things. But yeah, he's got things coming up with his daughter. But to me, that all links, because him, you know, wanting to call in a physical relationship, of course his daughter's going to be triggering him, because, like, that's all linked together. And his daughter triggering him is bringing up his mother wounds, of feeling unworthy, and how he relates to the feminine, about receiving, about communicating and interacting with women, which of course if he wants a physical relationship with a woman, then he has to clear through all the gunk that he's got relating to women. So what better, more beautiful mirror to have than, like, his daughter to reflect back the parts of him that need to grow and evolve in order to call in this physical relationship, in order to reflect back his own mother wounds. So I think that's beautiful. I said to him something about, like, well, then why don't your friends, your female friends, because he has a lot of female friends, why don't they reflect back these wounds? And he basically said about, like, how, like, for him, like, his daughter, just like his mum, like, there's no separation there, whereas with like his female friends, it's like a separation of, like, friend and him, whereas, like, with it, like, his mother and his daughter, that's, like, him, so there's not that separation there. So I think it's beautiful that his daughter gets to be this divine mirror for him to reflect back what needs working on, in order to call in this relationship that, since I met him, he's been telling me he wants, and that he's ready for, and that he misses, and that he's longing for. So I thought that was so beautiful. And that feels relevant to share too. So yeah, I've also remembered I just left the iron on as well. I just felt so excited to make this video, so I just have to do it. Like, I'm getting ready, I can talk while I'm getting ready. I just needed to make the conscious effort, the commitment to putting this energy into this video, making this beautiful video. If you do watch it, like, let me know. I'd love to, like, have you here on this beginning of this journey where I get, like, 10 views, you know, humble beginnings and that. But that's fine. If, like, I just can help one person's life from it, then that's literally my job done. I say that with every workshop, everything I do, like, no matter how many people are there, if just one person gains something from it, my job is complete, my job is done. And if you resonated with anything, or, like, you've got a similar story, share it in the comments. Like, I'd love to connect with you more and just, like, hear about your your process and journey with it all. That was energy clearing. So yeah, I'm gonna go iron my top now my makeup's done. But thank you for tuning in, and see you again soon.